Bonjour, ni hao. These are a few ways to say hello in another language. Did you know that if you only speak one language, that you're a minority in the world? Imagine that 3.5 billion people can speak more than one language. That's because half of the world's population is either bilingual or multilingual. It is also an advantage to know multiple languages for health reasons, such as better cognitive skills, mental flexibility, and multitasking. And also in elders, it helps reduce the chance of early memory loss. Today, I would love to share the importance of keeping my native tongue and passing it on to my 7-year-old to help him shape his future career. Being multilingual allows us to remain connected to the world, whether it's from being able to communicate to our elders to getting big discounts abroad when we travel. Knowing multiple languages allows someone to grow and develop in a world where cultures are blended every minute. Let's begin to talk about the importance of being bilingual by covering on the topic of health benefits. And next, I'm going to share my personal experience as a bilingual. And lastly, I'm going to share how important it is to teach our kids a new language in such an early age. Speaking another language has its health benefits. Not only can we communicate with additional culture and demographics, it also affects our brain, which is the gateway to information, how we process thoughts, and how we communicate with others. When bilinguals are using one of the languages they speak, their other language is actually also working. This is due to the signals when one specific word is being used. The brain sends out signals to identify which language it belongs to and its translation. According to an article published in 2012, the cognitive benefits of being bilingual, published in 2012 by Marian and Shook, they define this term as language coactivation. In my language, for example, when I'm holding an object such as a bread, I am looking at it thinking it's tinapay, but if I'm conversing with someone who's speaking in English, my mind is already translating it to bread. Even though my mind is aware that I'm speaking in English, part of my brain is also still translating it in Filipino. According to Jared Diamond's article published in 2010, the benefits of multilingualism, he stated that being bilingual offers some protection against the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease in old people. It is nice and convincing factor to know that learning a new language helps to keep our minds stay sharp. So, it is truly vital to cover the health benefits. Now I'm going to talk about my personal experience of being bilingual. So, speaking of processing words simultaneously from one language to another, this has been one of my personal struggles with English being my second language. As written by Lynn McBride in her book, published in 2013, How to Learn a New Language with a Used Brain, she stated that even when you speak reasonably well, you may find that you can understand one person perfectly and another not at all. Especially when facing with patients who are English native speakers, their accents and their slangs are usually the ones that I cannot keep up with right away. I find myself pausing, thinking of what I would like to say from Filipino to English. And to make matters worse, I was not aware that I need to take communications class such as public speaking in order to fulfill my requirements in dental hygiene. I figured I can work myself around with just speaking to patients and not having to face a class with a prepared speech and be aware of my correct pronunciation and my right accent. So that was my summary on my personal experience. Now I'm going to talk about my personal goals for my 7-year-old to become bilingual here in the US. As an immigrant from the Philippines and wanting to preserve the culture I wanted my son to be able to speak the language. According to Barbara Pearson's book in 2008, she stated that in about raising a bilingual child, she stated that most people who become bilingual considers bilingualism as a gift. He came here when he was only 3 years old, pronouncing all the words that he was only aware of. And now, moving up here and being in grade school, English has become his primary language. As researched by Patricia Parson in her social science journal published in 2013, she stated that there is no evidence that bilingual education hinders the process of an immigrant kid in learning in English. It actually has an advantage in enhancing better cognitive skills. And in fact, being bilingual increases your value in a tough job market. Wala tuloy ako. Tough job market. It in especially in international companies where they prefer employees who can communicate the language with the countries they do business with. It provides lasting comfort and also impression to build a better connection. And also, studies suggest that being bilingual gives you an advantage to potentially earn more compared to a person who isn't who is just speaking one. So, with this opportunity to speak to all of you, we have covered the health benefits of being bilingual, my personal my personal experience being a bilingual, and lastly, my goal for my son to become a bilingual in order to prepare for his future career. We always hear the term that we learn something new every day. I hope the information that I have shared with you becomes a sign to open a window that it's time to challenge our brain and store new data of a new language.